Hey, everybody. Hey, everybody. Can you see me and hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. And I see food time is here. Laura is one of my very oldest and most wonderful subscribers. And make sure you say hi to Laura, who is in Canada. Yeah, right. And let's see. I sort of started a couple of minutes late. Hey, Happy, thanks. And because I'm outside and it's raining. And it's a gentle rain, so that's very nice. And it's a surprise because it's May. It really doesn't rain in May. It doesn't rain from May till November. So if you saw my last video, my garden is already a jungle, so it's going to be an even bigger jungle. And hey, Bigfoot Urban Farm. Tina here in Phoenix. Hey, Jack. Jack is my young weatherologist. That's hard to say, Jack, really. He's a budding climatologist in Maryland, and he's also a gardener, has his own greenhouse, very enthusiastic. And he's being one of our moderators today, along with John, Happy. Hi, Daryl. Good morning. Hey, Jason. Hey, Cheryl. Jupe 367, tell me your name because I know you and I love you, but I just, is this washed out? I don't know if it's washed out to you or if it's just my screen. It looks a little washed out. My phone is distracting me. I'm going to close it. Hey, Nancy. Yes, I know. It's amazing. So I thought it would be appropriate, since it's raining, and it's unusual to have rain in May in Los Angeles. And for those of you tuning in for the very first time, I don't see any brand new people yet, but I am in Los Angeles. I do have an urban food forest in my front yard, mainly in my front yard. And also I have a lot of setups around the house. I grow food wherever there's sun. So it's mostly in the front yard. And I'm going to just swivel this around so you can. Hey, May in Boston. I just met a man from Boston last night. Hey, Cheryl in Alabama. Christina, just to clarify, the show is today. Yesterday was our last class before the show today. So the show is at 2:30 today, and we'll see how it goes. This is a whole new thing for me. I've been an actor for since 1980, whatever that is. And I've never studied long-form comedy improv. And you think when you watch a comedy, I'm not talking about sketch comedy, but when you watch a comedy improv, you think, oh, well, that's funny. They made that work somehow. But there's all these rules. And I think it's really good for my brain, my older brain, to help me learn new stuff and step out of my comfort zone. Echocentric Homestead, good morning. Hello, everyone. Cheryl, oh, so you moved from Franklin, Tennessee to Alabama. That's interesting. Newfoundland, it's so hard to say Newfoundland. Did I say it right? Newfoundland? Canada. Thank you. Canada is in the house. And Cynthia Wilson is in Alabama also. Cynthia, say hello to Cheryl Williams, who's also in Alabama. And wait, Cheryl, you just subscribed to me? That's wonderful, if that's what you mean. Hey, Trinidad and Tobago, I can count on you. Thank you. Oh, good. Anything to keep it cool in Phoenix, right? Okay. We do have a couple of topics today, and I just let you know, I have a hard out at 9:30. I have to leave because I'm meeting my son who's in town. Just thank you, Happy. Thanks for starting that off. You guys, you can always hit that $sign at the bottom and help support this channel. And also at the top of the chat, I listed all the ways you can connect with me, join my essential oils team, support me on Amazon, all the different ways, PayPal donations. And I really appreciate all that support. And I don't know if you've noticed, but my channel has really done so much better in the last 6 or 7 months. Just when I'm in a crisis here in my my home and my garden, you know, my channel starts finally doing some good stuff. The green room, nice and sunny here in Connecticut. Hello. Hey, Miss Deb from North Riverside. Riverside's a big city, so you distinguish between north, south. Elaine L. from SoCal. I know it's very crazy, Elaine. I was just saying that. Cheryl, you mean if don't go from here? That's not, unfortunately, not going to. Well, I won't say it's not possible, but I do have one sort of miracle thing in the works. But if that doesn't work out, then yeah, I'm going to have to go. And that's pressing heavily on my mind. Hey, Hannafel Designs, it's good to hear from you. Hey, May, thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. Hey, Denise, good morning from Cookville. And yes, I remember Daryl's friend, and Daryl is on. No, it's not a question of need. It's a question of being forced. I don't want to go. So I wanted to give shout outs right away, and I don't see them on yet. So I might have to do it again, but I want to get this out of the way. As I have a fan who is a young boy who's 5 years old, and his name is Gabriel. And his mother told me that Gabriel watches my videos the last thing before he goes to sleep at night. I just get choked up thinking about it. That's so precious. He's only 5 years old and he loves my channel. So good morning, Gabriel. Whenever you see this, I know you'll see it at some point. And Gabriel's mom, if you pick up, please tell me your name again, because I didn't write it down, and that was that. And so, and one other, I have Will Latin. Will Latin is an 11-year-old boy, and he lives in kind of northern Cal, and Central Coast, northern, Big Sur kind of area they live, and he is fascinated with growing corn. Now, he actually started corn in January, which is a little early, but he was so enthusiastic, he wanted to see what would happen. And they're gonna plant another round of corn. But I want to give a big shout out to Will Latin, who is a big fan of my show, and hopefully Will and his father Christopher are going to get to visit my garden this summer. That would be awesome. And hopefully I'll have corn growing. Speaking of corn, Daryl, I planted 16 cups with corn. I thought, you know, usually I just plant corn directly into whatever it's going to be in. But I just wanted to see before I get all that dirt and all those pots and get it all spread out on the driveway. I'm just going to see what comes up. I'm going to try to have 16. This is my plan, guys. Not only all the in-ground area in the garden is packed. Okay. So the only other place to add anything this year is in the driveway. And I can park on the street, and that's no problem. So I'm going to have, like I did last year, I'm going to grow corn in containers and see how I do. I'm going to have 16 pots, and I think I'm going to do, well, I hate to buy more, and I have a series of different sizes from 3 to 5, and so, but I'm going to put 16 plants together in a block, kind of like square foot gardening, and just pack them together in a square on the driveway and see what happens. I really wanted to go to Home Depot and get or make a sled so that I could drag this thing back and forth, so that if I wanted to get into the driveway, I could. But the sunniest part in the garden is right where the car would sit. And I just thought, do I really want to go and buy? I looked at Home Depot's site, the cheapest I should be saying hello to people. Do you have good pollinations? Cheryl, it's a fortune here. It's an absolute fortune. You spend all your money in rent. It's hard to recommend moving here. The only way I would choose to move to Southern California, if you live elsewhere in another state, is if you get a really good job offer that you can't turn down, and then I would come. But I would not come here hoping to get a job and hoping to find a place to live, and all. I wouldn't do it. You know, the taxes are high. That it's just, I mean, there's a lot of other great things about it, but it's, or if you know somebody and you can share, that's a whole different thing. And yes. Hi, Lauren. Lauren is checking in from Berlin, guys. So we have Germany in the house. Hi, Eden. I appreciate you checking in. Yeah, East Mesa. Hi, Janice. I was just thinking of you because I was going through my seed. I have I don't know if he's going to check in, but his name is Bruce Smith, and he made a small donation to my channel and asked me for some orange Thai seeds. Now, if you've been following my channel, you know I had such great success with these orange Thai plants that got to be almost 6 feet tall. And they overwintered. One overwintered 2 years and one overwintered 3 years. And I had most fabulous, that is absolutely hands down my favorite pepper because it's just hot enough that I can eat a whole one chopped up on my eggs and survive. And so, but, and they're yellow, so they're really pretty, but something got to the roots and it died, just like the hibiscus, just absolutely something ate the roots and it just died. So I was looking for my orange Thai seeds because Patty from Vegas stayed with me, as you know, around Christmas time, and was helping me out, and she sorted through all my seeds, and I couldn't find my orange Thai seeds, so I had to get all my seeds out, and I happened to discover those okra seeds you sent me, Janice. And I was thrilled out of my mind because I had written Angie, and I haven't heard from Angie. I'm a little concerned. So everybody send some positive thoughts to Angie in Kentucky. Angie said she was going to send me some of the fabulous red okra that she grows. Forget the name of it. And I haven't heard from her. So I found these okra seeds, and of course, the same day I got some planted, and I think I just saw one of them, something sprouted up over there. I'm not sure what. Anyway, well, Eden, and by the way, since you said you were studying, are you a young person, a young gardener? Let me know. Depending on where you are, Eden, you really should start your peppers in January or February, and they germinate best on a hot pad, and with a light setup, and that way you can control all the young starts and get them off to a great start before you transition them to the outside. And you know, because some peppers take months to actually develop peppers and ripen. So that's why you got to get a head start on that. So now we're in May. So depending where you are, I'm not sure if you could get peppers this summer. Depends on how long your growing season is, where you are. Cheryl, I would recommend, it's not the right season, of course. You're in, you said you were in Alabama, I think. I think it's too hot, going to be way too hot to start radishes. But you can do radishes in the fall. You know, in October you can plant radishes. And if you write to me on my website, go to my website contact page. It's latebloomershow.com, but the link is, you can copy the link from the top of this chat. And if you write to me and you send me a let's see, you write to me, I will send you the address. And heck, I can just write the address here. It's a post office box. Send me a self-addressed stamped envelope. I will send you some of those daikon radish seeds. They like it cool, I can tell you that. They don't want it hot or they'll bolt. But that would be such a fun radish if you're into radishes. Can't. Good grief. Pacific. Okay. If you send me a self-addressed stamped envelope, I'll send you some of those radish seeds, those daikon, as someone corrected me, radish seeds. Thank you, Christina. Christina's asking everyone to hit that like button, and I would really appreciate that. Hey, James. Growing celery indoors. Wow. No, I don't have any suggestions because I haven't tried that. Hey, Hassan. Thank you for tuning in. That's fantastic. Oh, that's fantastic. It remind me where you are, Bigfoot, because I think we were just talking last night on a comment. So you're doing passion fruit bamboo and moringa. So you must be, wait, you said you're in Phoenix, right? Yeah, that's perfect. All of that's gonna go great over there. And US Bronxy, please tell me your name, by the way. Don't leave without coming down here. I'm serious. Write me and let's get this organized because I want you to see this jungle. You'll let once go, gosh, it's so much smaller than I thought it was. And then you'll also say, gosh, what a jungle. Thank you, Daryl. So Eden, if you don't mind my asking, are you a younger person? Oh, and also, Eden, the easiest way to grow celery is to make sure it's organic celery, because I'm always remind you guys, top 3 sprayed with pesticides vegetables that you must eat organic or don't eat at all: strawberries, red apples, and celery. And there's another one that's getting right up there, but I don't want to say it because I'm not exactly sure. Not exactly sure. KTA is asking for a shout out. They're a new subscriber, and turn on notifications. I think KT is suggesting to everyone to hit the like button, and if you haven't already, to hit that bell for notifications on my channel. I hope that's right. Oh, and Debbie, I was just going to give you a shout out. Debbie has joined us. Debbie Tillis Taylor. She brought one of the topics that we're going to be talking about very, very soon, and I just want to see. Yes, I can't tell you Ecocentric, but if you go to oh, will I be able to think of the website? I tell you what, Ecocentric, I am going to make myself a note. It's I I want to say it's the Environmental Defense Fund. Their website, Environmental Defense Fund, I believe, is the one that has the website that studies all of the toxic pesticides that's put on all the vegetables. Try Environmental Defense Fund, and if that's not right, I'll try to look it up. Top pesticide. Yeah. Yeah, I can't answer why red. I just know it was on the list. Yeah, Cheryl, I want you to delete that. The way you wrote it, it's not a good idea to put your email address in the chat or in a comment. You need to just separate your name from, and then just do @ like AT, and separate the Gmail. And that way you don't get anybody writing you from this. Denmark, fantastic. Hi. Is it Aga or Aga? How do I pronounce your name? Let's see. Hey, Brian's Jersey Garden. Good morning from New Jersey Shore. Oh, the New Jersey Shore. I got to tell you, I got the worst sunburn in my life on the New Jersey Shore. I thought I was going to die. And it was a completely overcast day. But I just, so I thought, okay, this is not a big deal. And I spent way too much time just laying in the sun. This is when I was very young. Of course, I would never do that now. And I wound up with sunstroke. And I was in the hotel room under 5 quilts, just shaking. Oh, I was so sick. Yes, Portia is a fantastic gardener. She's on. Good morning, Portia. And if you have any questions about ground cover or unusual plants to put in the garden, she's the one. She really, really explores a lot with her garden. Hi, Leslie. What do I use to treat pests? It depends on the pest. There's a lot of different kinds of pests, you know. For bugs, I usually use soapy spray, like for aphids and you know, sometimes these bugs that don't, the nymphs that don't fly, you can literally just brush them off into a little pail of soapy water and they're finished. That's it. So you can keep it simple and organic and not have to have any kind of chemicals in your garden. But the number one thing is to be observant. And no better example of that is than my last live stream, not yesterday's 2-minute, but the one before that. And I was showing people around the garden, and I live discovered I had aphids on my brand new artichokes. So, you know, from a distance, I didn't even notice it. And when I went in to show the audience my new artichoke, it's like black. So, good morning, Portia. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Cheryl. Good afternoon from Ireland. Oh, I want to go to Ireland so bad. I wonder if that's going to happen in this lifetime. Let's see. Are you drinking kefir or sour milk for sunburn? You can also put it on burn skin as well. You know, I was very young when I did that, and I had no idea. It's been a very long time since I've been sunburned. I'm an actor. I do not go out in the sun. And plus I am Scot-Irish Welsh skin. As you can see, it's white and it doesn't tan. So it's pointless. Other than as OAG, Old Alabama Gardener would say, Charles would say that the vitamin D is critical for your health. Critical for your health. I see that my power strip is getting rained on. So, okay. All right, let's get to our questions. I'm dying to know. Let's start with the first one. Well, that wasn't very nice. Let's get that out of there. Let's see, everybody. Keep a lookout for that. Hey, Grandma Sandy. Oh, that's fantastic. You've got to grow your own strawberries. Oh, there's just nothing better. Okay. William at East Mesa, you're talking obviously to someone else, and I don't know what the question was. Yes, that's true. Who's it? Who? Yeah. So somebody's writing from Ireland and somebody's writing from Newfoundland, which is probably very similar climate. Peace Lim is asking the group, what is the easiest herb to grow? Well, I would have to say, from my experience, it's rosemary, because rosemary it's perennial. And if you get it in a well-drained, happy place, it'll just keep living for years, and you don't have to do a thing to it. So I would definitely say rosemary. And next, I would say, I mean, mint is easy to grow, but it's hard to control. So, and then I would say oregano. Oregano does pretty well in the garden, and thyme. Basil comes and goes, so it's a constant kind of, maintenance thing. I hope I answered your question. Ooh, oleanders. I just wouldn't even bother with oleanders, to tell you the truth. Isn't oleander toxic? I believe it is. I planted one once in the very beginning of my garden. I just took it out. Yeah, yes. And don't forget, there's so many beautiful herbs like tarragon and marjoram. I love marjoram. I guess it's no harder to grow than basil, but it really, really is a fantastic fresh herb to put on eggs. Parsley will bolt. That's the thing about parsley, and cilantro, obviously. Hey, James from England. Thank you for tuning in. I did not know that. I didn't know that mint keeps mice away. Let's see. Wait, what? Jack, you're holding out on me. I didn't know you were from Sicily originally. You don't need to look at that umbrella handle. Let's see. Yeah, the discontent is because they've ruined them, CJ. They ruined the non-organic red apples. Well, they've ruined almost everything. Oh, guys, please check a movie. It's called The Secret Ingredients Movie. Everyone who is suffering from any kind of chronic disease, including children, everything from autism to, oh my God, so many things. And if you're not suffering from chronic disease, watch the movie anyway, because you might know someone who is, and this movie might help them. But the gist of it's made by Jeffrey Smith, who I actually met and saw at the National Heirloom Expo speaking. He was a speaker. He is always a speaker there. And he executive produced this movie, and he's in this movie. And there's doctors and families that have been impacted with chronic disease. And when they removed all GMO foods from their diet and ate a 100% organic diet, they all got better. Every condition improved. So it's called Secret Ingredients Movie. Christina, can you just type that in, find that link and just put it down there? I would appreciate it. I think everybody, lemon balm is really pretty easy to grow. It's like mint. You have to control it. But the thing is, I grow it in a pot so I can control it, but then it's not happy in a pot that long. So you need to hack it back, cut it all back and let it come back. Let's see. Estragon. I don't know what that is. Let's see. Yes, I do, James. I did. It's called The Secret Ingredients Movie, James. We have two Jameses on here. CJ, I'll say CJ and I'll say James. James is writing from, where did you say you're writing from, James? Mirko Official. Where'd you go? Hold on. It's called Secret Ingredients Movie. I believe that's how you find it. And you can screen it for free for 2 more days online. And after that, it's going to be on Hulu and maybe one of the other streaming services. But watch it today if you can. It's really powerful. Really, really powerful. I mean, I've been aware to avoid GMOs for a very long time. But you really need to, when you look at foods on the shelf, any kind of prepared food that's in a box or a bag, it needs to say organic, and it needs to say non-GMO project verified. Non-GMO project verified. That has a label also. And if you see both of those, you're buying the best quality food that you can find. Now, I have a little bit of quibble about the movie only because I know that the USDA has very, very lax standards with the organic label and what the organic really means. And we can talk about that in another live stream because that's a whole big subject. What is going on here? I know, Beth, and I had tarragon for a while, and then I, you just forget, and I think, oh my gosh, I want tarragon and marjoram back because they're just the most tender, delicious herbs. The only time I've been out, I was at Home Depot, and the tarragon was not organic, and I said, nope. Let's see. I'm not sure what that's mean is referring to, Wool. What are we talking about, Cheryl? Did somebody find the link? Good morning, Abdullah. How are you? Please let me know where you're writing from. Mirko Official. Thank you. Where are you writing from, Mirko? And Debbie says to eat real food. Absolutely. And no, I have not stopped doing garden tours of the garden. Do you mean making video tours of my garden, or do you mean actually having people tour my garden? I'm not sure which one you mean, because I have 2 videos that I shot, but I hope you all saw my retrospective video. I spent 5 days making that, and I was so burnt out. I could not go back to the computer and edit, and I was very busy with this other stuff. So I have 2 videos that are waiting to be edited. One is a workday video with Eric. He showed up on a Saturday, and Saturday before last. Haven't gotten to that. And also another one I shot in the rain. This is going to be your chill video for the week. I'm thinking about doing a playlist. I have so many playlists, people. Go to my homepage and look at all my playlists. I have a rain playlist. And I'm thinking about doing a chill video of the week playlist. because a lot of times what I do is just show you images, no dialogue and no narration, just images and music, and just give you a little bit of a respite. Because the last video I did, it was 17 plus minutes, and I'm talking, I have a narration the entire time. And if anybody's curious, that was so problematic because that narration I recorded, I have a computer. I think I mentioned several times about my old computer was really about to crap out on me. And I got a new computer, and this computer has a vibration, a slight vibration. And I have it sitting on my lift desk so that I can either work higher or sitting. And I set my microphone tripod on that to record that entire narration, that 17-minute narration. And there was a hum all the way through it. And oh my gosh, it required some money and some professionals to fix it. Anyway, that's a long story about technical stuff. Hi, period. Love you. Love Jack from Delaware. Wonderful. We have a Jack from Maryland and a Jack from Delaware. Let's see. I think I got behind. The FDA is highly underfunded. Yes, that's true. Oh, thank you, Happy Gardener. Thank you for checking in. Hi, Carmen from Puerto Rico. Hi, Eden. How you doing? Yes. Central Cal, Hanalei. Let's see. Yes, the video tour. Yeah. I'm always doing a tour, and I'm absolutely going to be doing a tour this week because things are exploding. Well, they already have exploded. So just keep tuned to my channel and make sure you hit that bell for notifications. And Bull. Let's see. Okay. Well, you would need. I'm talking to Peace is asking a question about making essential oils. I'm an essential oil distributor, so I work for a really great company, and they have huge distilleries. The distillery that where you distill. You'd have to have some kind of mini way to distill the essential oils, and so you should look online and see what kind of things are available for home use. Let's see. Larice, I did a live one, the live stream before last, so make sure you watch that. And hey, Nikki from Temecula. That's fantastic. Denmark, is your name Cora by chance? I don't know how to call you. I appreciate that. And please tell your husband, thank you. Hey, good morning, North Star Prep Stetter. Kathy from Minnesota. You're welcome, Peace. I mean, I'm not sure that's your name, but. Well, it's raining today in Chile, Cheryl, so today wouldn't be the absolute best day. That's fantastic, Jody. Am I saying your name right? You know, I love Brooklyn. One of my dearest friends lives in Brooklyn, and I've been there many times. Ooh. Had a little panic attack on the New York subway going from Midtown to Brooklyn in August of 2009, I think it was, when it had to be 150 degrees in the subway. Woo! That was quite a night. Spent a lovely evening at the in the emergency room. Oh yeah, you haven't lived until you've spent a night in the emergency room in Brooklyn. Okay, let's get to our questions because we only have 40 minutes tops. And Debbie Tillis Taylor, or wait, did I say that right? Debbie, let's just say Debbie. Debbie proposed a question, and also I proposed a question. And I would like to know, what is your favorite thing about my channel? And and while you're thinking about that, I'm going to, what is with there's a lot of people that are writing not nice things here. I don't know why. So yeah, Jody. But I also had a great time in Brooklyn on my way back from Germany when I did the European tour in 2017. I of course stopped in to see my friend in Brooklyn, and I had a couple of days there, and we went to this new bar that's right on the waterfront, and you look across, it's a rooftop bar, and you look across and you see all of Manhattan, and you see the Brooklyn Bridge and the lights. And I took one of the most beautiful photos on my phone. I think it was on my phone of the skyline in New York that I've ever taken. It was so beautiful. And you know what? If I could afford to move back to New York, I would, and I'd live in Brooklyn. I do, North Star Prepstetter. I've got several. What's going on? Did they miss somebody? Let's see. Mrs. Medina. Mrs. Medina, did you just tune in because you're Gabriel's mom, right? Cheryl, yeah, okay. I have people that are checking, but I don't know. Unfortunately, I don't know what the Chinese characters mean. So I'm hoping that that's not anything unpleasant. You know, Peace, I have made borage tea from fresh borage leaves, and I gotta say, I don't love the taste, but I think with a little honey or maybe throw in a couple of mint leaves, it would be good. And it's supposed to be very nutritious. And I have, of course, I've got a boatload of borage and mint. I love fresh mint tea. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Eden, it's actually not huge. It is a small front yard garden in Los Angeles. And if you watched, Eden, have you seen my recent video, the retrospective? You can see what the little front yard looked like before I ever started this whole process. But it's interesting, once you start adding a lot of things and you add depth in your garden, suddenly you go, wow, it seems so much deeper than it really is. When this is cleaned off all the way to the sidewalk, you think, oh, okay. But now I have, and what you're doing is it's almost like you're creating levels. Kind of, you're making a 3D. So here's a level, and that's the African blue basil. And I could turn this around. Let's see what would happen if I did. So is that washed out? It looks washed out to me, but I don't know if it's washed out to you. So see, you have levels, and you wouldn't know that there is a sidewalk right behind the orange tree, which is right there. The sidewalk is right there, but you got this level here that's kind of waist high of the African blue basil, and behind that, you have the fig tree starting up, and the the tomato plants, and then behind that you have the orange tree. And so when you have all these levels, suddenly your garden just looks like a forest. And you haven't gained any space, but what you've done, oops. But what you've done is create depth. You create depth by making these levels. So my walkways are not wide enough to be safe. And I fear actually having tours here because I don't want anybody to get hurt. I've fallen a few times in my own garden, and someone with big feet would really have a problem walking down through there. But I just think that the levels create the depth, and that's how you create the illusion. It's really an illusion that you have a lot more space than you do. Oh, what kind of snake was it, Afi? Yeah, you know, when I'm looking out, the color is not soft. It is the lens on the laptop not giving you the appropriate, you know, I wish you could see the real color. Let me see if I can just, yeah, I'm going to take a picture and then I'm going to show you that picture. This is what my eye sees. So you see it's much more saturated than what this laptop is picking up. Speaking of cameras, and we're still not really getting to the questions, are we? Speaking of cameras, guys, I got a new camera. I splurged. I know. I got a deal on it. I think I got kind of a deal on it, a little bit of a deal on it. But I just said, you know, I have been struggling for the entire time in this garden with a camera that's great at some things, but it's not a great camera, especially for blogs or, vlogs or filming myself, because the camera that I have has no flip screen. The Sony has no flip screen. And I've just been, if you could see what I go through to prepare to sit down and do a shot, you'd just go, you got to be kidding me. I mean, sometimes I have to do that opening shot on my videos like 15 times before I get it right. And sometimes it's just because my head is too close to the top. And that is such a simple thing to correct if you can see yourself on the flip screen. So I just finally did it. I haven't read the instructions. I haven't even taken it out of the box, but I am going to soon. Let's see. Sheila, is your comment a response to our question that we're doing? You love seeing how other city farmers, gardeners do it, meaning you love to see when I go and interview other people. This is a very important point I do want you guys to respond to, because if and when and if I have to sell this place, which is looking pretty definite, unless a miracle happens, the buyer that would buy this house would not appreciate my garden. They would be intimidated, and it's very unlikely I could find a buyer that would appreciate and want to maintain and keep this garden going. And in fact, I may have to disassemble the garden that I have, which, let's not talk about that. I'll just start crying. But anyway, I will dig up whatever I can whatever I think will live and take it with me wherever I go. So, because I have no faith that the people that come would understand and want to maintain that. And may, in fact, insist that it all be taken out before they buy it. I don't know. What did you do about that snake, Afi? Beautiful. Thank you, James. Hey, Double Dog. Hey, Eric. I tell you, that's you canceled sourdough pancakes at your brother's for my live stream. That's I appreciate that. But I'm not going to keep you too long. Those pancakes can still just hold because I have to be out of here. Have to leave. Literally leave at 9:30. I've got my show to do today, and Hanalei, that's a very good question. And the only thing that I would say is no. First of all, no, because the new digital cameras give you too much information. They show every wrinkle, every pore, we don't need that much resolution. I don't, not when you're older. You certainly don't need that much resolution when you're older. But the way to look thinner on camera is lighting is everything. I say this all the time. I'm a photographer and I know this for a fact. Lighting is everything. And also you can position your body in such a way as to look younger and thinner. And this sort of leads us to our next question, which Debbie had proposed. And if you still have an answer have not answered, but want to answer my question about what you like best about my channel. And the reason I'm asking is because I will follow the progress of this garden this summer, whatever happens. And I will be reporting on that because I'm a documentarian. And going forward, though, if I stay in Los Angeles, the chance of me having a garden is so remote because it's just too expensive. And so we got into this neighborhood before things exploded. And when I go, it's going to be downsizing. You know, I'm an empty nester anyway, so it's definitely going to be downsizing. And, you know, unless I found some situation where there was a house for rent and I could rent out 2 rooms and make, it's just so expensive to live here. So finding a garden is going to be very difficult. So I want to keep my channel going because it's finally starting to grow. So I'd like to know what you like best about my channel, because I love interviewing people. I always wanted to have my own show where I go around and I find interesting people doing interesting things related to growing your own food, gardening, making the world a better place, soil health, biodiversity. I mean, all of those things are what I'm passionate about. And I would love to just keep doing that on my channel. And whether I have a big garden or not, hopefully I'll have a balcony or something. You know, I just don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. Yes, I know, William. And if I wanted to just say no more acting aspirations, I would be living in the Phoenix Valley, because I just know so many people there, and there's such a food movement. You know, you just get so connected, and the resources are there, and not only that, but people. There's a real sense of pride in being able to grow food in the desert. You know, it's like, I did that. I mean, I took this, like Patty, she took, if you could see the pictures of her backyard before, in fact, I think I included them in that first video I did with her, because she sent them to me. It was just like this like light colored clay, nothing. And she's turned it into a food forest, and not like mine because she has dogs. When you have dogs, you got to give dogs a little space, but it's amazing, and that's where I'd be. And not in Vegas, but maybe Phoenix. Yes, Denise, I know, and you know, that's something I might think about. Oh, so you're in Dubai, Eden. Okay. Yes, Dubai, it's just sand and incredibly hot. And how can I possibly grow any food here? And nobody's even trying, right? Nobody even, if you talk to somebody about it, they think you're crazy, right? I think that's what Janice told me. Janice, are you still there? Janice, if Janice is still there, you need to connect with Eden, because she's in Dubai. I have no idea. Yeah, and Hannah, if I had a partner, I would do that. But I don't. And I'm not going to do that by myself. Not a chance. Well, Cheryl, I think I tried to just explain it as I'm trying to find out what you like best about my channel, because if it's just, oh, I'm just interested in what you do in your own garden, then that limits me, because going forward, I may not have just this garden. So are you interested in whatever garden I bring you? Are you just interested in me? You know, because I'm an interesting person and I make good videos. What makes you tune into my channel? So because you like me and you like anything I do, or you just want to know how to do stuff? Because I know there's a huge contingent on YouTube that just tunes in to channels to find out how to do stuff and fix stuff and grow stuff. And that will be harder for me without my own garden. So, but not impossible. Nothing is impossible. Avondale is not that far from, well, Portia, you know, I haven't heard anything this week, and I have been, you know, after making that video for them, I was, you know, hopefully that's something still cooking there. Yes, it would be awesome. It would be awesome to be in AZ, you know, and I could even spend some time there if I figure out, you know, I could live here and spend some time in AZ. I probably wouldn't live in AZ full time because, you know, if you've heard me say this, my son Walker is moving to Austin in November, and buying a house. So it's more likely I'd want to be spending time in Texas and be around them. Okay, I'm going to review all these comments later, Peace. So thank you very much. So Cheryl, you're saying this is your first show, meaning this is your first live stream you've tuned into, or is this the first time you've been to my channel? Thank you. Yes, Christina is helping me define the question. So please look at Christina's comment. She's well, that depends on where you live. No, oh no. You know, tropical plants, you can grow tropical plants in the desert because they're doing it in Phoenix, but it's really hard to grow tropical plants in Canada, you know, so it really depends on where you are. Thank you, James. Thank you, CJ. Well, thank you, Beth. You know, when I went to Europe, I thought, you know, I'm bringing Europe to a lot of my viewers in the U.S. that may not ever get a chance to go there, and maybe not able to travel financially or physically. And I just thought those would be even much more popular than they were. So I never actually got finished with that series because I just thought, my God, people just want to see me working with Eric in the garden, because my Thursday workday videos would get many more views. And but I do plan to finish. I have Lauren. I don't know if Lauren is still on. Lauren in Berlin. I wanted to show you her. She had a small backyard in her Berlin house and had created a garden back there. And I thought that would be nice to see. And also there was a public garden in Gießen, Germany that I wanted to do a video on. And then I believe the only other thing was, yeah, I think the only other one was the Brooklyn. I did in Brooklyn, you know, they have these row houses. They're all attached all the way down the street. And then the person and they're usually three stories with a lower level, and or two stories with a lower level. At any rate, the gal that lived on the lower level, obviously the person living on the lower level in one of these buildings gets the garden out back. And she had some health problems, and she just chilled out and decided to create a garden in the back of her Brooklyn apartment. And it was so beneficial for all of them. It was very peaceful, and I'm interested in bring you that video too when I get to it. Let's see. Thank you, Robbie. Remind me where you are. Oh, Robbie, that's wonderful. Where are you? And I do want to help you, to inspire you to grow your own food. And Brittany says Workday Thursday is her favorite. Oh, thank you, Lauren. Wow. That would be interesting to see. Greening the desert in Jordan. Hi, Patrick. Patrick just nailed it. He just said, you make good videos which are interesting to watch. Thank you. If that is the barometric, that's not the right barometric pressure. That's has to do with the weather. If that's the barometer, no, if that's the parameter, what word am I looking for? Then that means I can make good. That means that everybody will be interested in whatever videos I make wherever they are. Okay, let's move on to the other question, which was posed by Debbie, and that is, she asked me this, and I said this would be a great question to pose to the group. Hi, Chris. Oh, I know, Chris. You have no idea what I've been going through the last 7 months, and I just come out and I just look at my little sprouts there, and I start talking to my sprouts, and and then I go put some seeds in, and I go, now you guys, I want you to pop right up. You know, we don't have all summer. Let's go. You know, and it's just amazing. I mean, I have a tendency to talk to myself anyway, but I love talking to my plants. Delaware, Maryland border. Okay, we have someone else from Delaware and Maryland on the live chat. No, oh no. And what? Tell me your name, because I certainly don't get a sense of it from your channel name, from your Google name. Let's see. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm glad. Robbie, Hanley, let's see. And yeah. Yes, yes, that's the problem is if I go into an apartment, it's going to be very hard to attract monarch butterflies. So, they're part of my life. And once I realized how important they are and how endangered they are, I haven't stopped growing milkweed. Thank you, Cheryl. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're going into a dorm. Well, the easiest thing you can grow in a dorm is obviously succulents. And succulents can give you pleasure. Just growing succulents, which are the easiest thing in the world, they require so little care, so little water, so little fertilizer. In fact, the only mistake you can really make with succulents is don't water them too much because they don't like to be watered all the time. And a lot of people with house plants, that's the mistake they make. They go, oh, I should water my plant, but especially succulents don't like so much. I am starving. I was going to say, happy gardener. I don't know. We're talking. I just posed the second question. Or no, I didn't actually say it. The second question is, do you feel gardening has made you healthier? Do you feel growing your own food has made you healthier? I think that's the way you put it, didn't you, Debbie? Hi, Hillary. I know. Well, it's interesting you should say that. So I'm thinking about that question, guys, while I'm answering Hillary. The question is, do you feel gardening and growing food has made you healthier? Hillary, the times that I have mentioned, maybe buying a duplex or something, and being close to my son, he's going, now, Mom, we love you, but that always starts every single response to me trying to suggest that I might spend part of my year in Austin. We have a guest room for guests, Mom. But you're not moving in. I'll start. Let's see. No, oh no, you still have not told me your name. If you did, I missed it. Can you plant? I would not do that. No, oh no. I would not plant a citrus tree in the ground and then bring it in because it's going to go into shock and it's not worth it. You might kill it. It's better if you buy a dwarf tree, you can keep it in a pot, and that way you can keep it outside when it's sunny, and then you can bring it inside. And if you don't have a really big sunny window inside for the winter, then you're going to have to get a grow light and just put it. But they're not expensive. You get a standing grow light and just turn that grow light on that tree. 8-10 hours a day. And you can keep it going through the winter. And if anybody else has more, I haven't done it, but I know you can do it. And if anybody else has any other thoughts on that, please answer no, oh no. Thank you, Laura. Yes, it does, Cheryl. That's the nature because people are asking me questions. They're talking to each other. You can't have like a constant. I mean, I could talk for 90 minutes without stopping, but then I wouldn't recognize people, and people like to be recognized. They love to be noticed. Peace says, that gardening has helped mentally de-stress. And I find that to be very, very true. I find it's almost like a Zen thing when you go out in the garden. For me, like when I'm swimming, swimming is my favorite um, uh, exercise activity. And when I'm swimming, I can just, I can clear my mind, and it's just me and the movement and dealing with the water and trying to breathe, and it's just so immediate, because when you're swimming, you have to be active or you're going to drown. So you've got to focus on not drowning, and 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 it just completely takes your mind off your troubles. And or you can kind of get into a routine and just kind of process through the thinking process of your troubles, or whatever's stressing you out. And the garden is the same way. If you walk out and you are instantly observant, you go, what is that eating that leaf? And your attention is totally on that. And you have a list of things to do and to accomplish. And while you're out here, you notice other things to do. And if you get your hands in the dirt, there's actually a chemical reaction, that there's a certain, I forget which chemical it is, but it actually is a mood elevator. It actually elevates your mood to get your hands in the dirt. And what does Daryl have to say? Yes. How have you? Well, unfortunately, Daryl, you're probably one in a million that's going to have that's not going to be forced to drink city water or municipality water, I should say. Daryl happens to have his own spring. And by the way, I drank your spring water and I didn't have a problem. So that was interesting. That was interesting. Peace. Portia says peace is the biggest benefit. And I do find peace in the garden. I mean, I find peace in the garden just sitting here looking at it, especially when there's more to look at. And that's why I like so many plants, because if you came out here and you just had like one little raised bed, like I did in the beginning, so make sure you watch that most recent video, the retrospective. It was just like one little raised bed over there. I can't even see that raised bed because I have the back 40 between that and the raised bed now. And, you just say, okay, when you just got 4 plants, there's not a lot to look at. It would be like going into an art gallery. You say, oh, I'm going to go to an art gallery today. And you go into the art gallery and there's one little painting on the wall and everything else is empty, So that's why I like to fill it up, because, wherever I look, there is something. I mean, I have all my cactus and cacti and succulents there. And I have all 4 o'clocks and alyssum here. And I got my pine tree and I got the dragon cactus going up. I still haven't done anything with that dragon cactus. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. And my roses, this is the best ever for my roses. So somebody asked earlier about a live tour, and I'm about a tour, and I will do that this week for sure. No. Oh, no. Can you tell me your name? Because that I got to say, that channel name is very difficult. Dwarf trees grow normal size fruit. They're just smaller trees. I can't remember if my lemon tree is a dwarf or semi-dwarf, but I know that my Valencia orange tree is a semi-dwarf orange tree, and it is at least 10 feet tall, and it's a semi-dwarf. So they get big. Mrs. Medina, did you answer my question that you are Gabriel's mom? Oh gosh, I'm lost now. Where are we? I love Bigfoot's. He says gardening I think it's a he. Oh wait, no. Bigfoot is Tina in Phoenix, right? Gardening is my life. It keeps me grounded and healthy. It's not a chore to me. It's relaxing, and the food tastes so fresh compared to processed foods. And that is so true. Citrus, Sheila, citrus do well in pots. In fact, if you saw my video with Jill Green in Phoenix, she has grapefruit, orange. What else did I see? Lemon, all in the 20, I think they're like the 21-inch pots. All had fruit on them. They do really well. You just have to take care of plants in pots. You can't, they have to be fed. Because you're not getting any, unless you add worms, which I always add worms. I don't know if anybody else does, but I add worms to all of my containers because I have so many worms. I take them out of my worm bin. By the way, I was going to do a video on how to make a simple worm bin. Should I do that? Or does everybody already know how to do that? It's so simple. But I just take a handful of worms out of my worm bin, and I just go around and I put a couple of worms in every pot. And so what that's doing is that's fertilizing your container with worm poop, which is called earthworm castings. And so I always do that. But in addition, you've got to fertilize your plants that if you're going to keep them in a pot. And just long term, you have to look at how long has a citrus tree been in a pot. If the tree's not looking so great, you may need to pull it out, kind of root prune it a little bit, freshen it up, put some new soil in there, stick it back in the pot. Because, once you get to be like 21 inches, it's really difficult to, especially if they're clay. Those are extremely heavy. But if you've got the plastic 21-inch pots, you can still move those around, especially if you have a little dolly. But I wouldn't try to have a pot that's bigger than 21 inches. It's just too cumbersome, too hard to move. And drinking my green juice. I made a video recently about my green juice, so make sure you watch that. It's true, Steph. Yes, and the question is, Christina, how to get pure water if you don't have a spring, especially if you're on the grid. How do you get pure water? And believe me, I have used every kind of filter, and I've got filters on my hoses. I don't have a whole house filter because they're very expensive, and then you've got all these filter cartridges you've got to change all the time. But I have water filters on bathtub, all my showers, my sink, my kitchen sink. So, if I'm boiling pasta or steaming something or other, it's always filtered water that I put in the pot. I never use straight tap water to cook anything. That's wonderful, Beth. Brittany says, growing food from seed has brought her closer to Mother Earth. It has allowed her to appreciate food and her family's health more. And she says my videos always make her want to grow everything. There's so many things that I really wanted to grow that I did not get to grow here, and I won't now, like moringa. I tried so hard to grow moringa. And I have indigo seeds. I would love to try to grow indigo and make my own dye. I have jute seeds in there that were sent to me from the Philippines 4 or 5 years ago. never, I tried seeding those once and nothing happened. But can you imagine growing your own jute and then turning that into fiber? I mean, it's endless. The things you can grow in addition to food items, like I'm growing sweetgrass. I've been growing sweetgrass for years now, and I have yet to make anything out of it. I just keep growing it, and I cut it when it dies back or when it starts to bloom, and I put it in the compost, and it's not going to waste, but I'm not actually making anything out of it. Portia says it can be a reality check. Gardening can be a reality check, and it's very, very true. I think the reality check in gardening is, I would say, for me, it's don't take anything for granted in the garden. You plant something, you say, I put in the right fertilizer, I put it in a good spot in the garden, it should do fine. And then it doesn't, and then you go, well, I wonder what happened. Then you have to investigate that. Or like for me with the olives, I had this. These olive trees were purchased before, just as sort of little trees to sit around, before I actually had the idea for the fruit garden. And when we bought them, they were supposed to be non-fruiting trees. They were just supposed to be, olive trees grow well here because we're in a kind of a Mediterranean climate. And I am freezing, everybody. So I am chilled to the bone. I'm just going to tell you. See what temperature it is. It's 54 degrees and it's raining. It's this gentle rain that's solidly coming down. And then to find out that this olive tree produced the big, beautiful olives, and a lot of them, and then to find out each one has a maggot in it, and it's a reality check. Okay, let's see. A garden for mom. Hello. Workday Thursday with Eric is your favorite. Well, I am. What is your name? What is your name? A garden for mom. I have to break it to you that that will not be a continuing thing. We'll have a few more of those, and then that will probably be it for having Eric over, because of my situation. So I have one that I need to edit, and that'll be coming up this week. And so you can look forward to that, and we'll see from there. I don't know. Bebop, hello. That is so true. Please read Bebop's comment, guys. I would not spend an hour in a mall. I mean, I used to do that maybe, when malls were kind of a new kind of fun thing 30 years ago. I can't remember the last time I've been in a mall. My problem with the mall is there's so much merchandise, most of which is overpriced, most of which is imported, because we don't have any mills. This is a whole other topic for another live stream. Don't want to get political, but we used to have mills in this country where we made thread and yarn and fabric, and all of this stuff was made in this country by Americans. And you're hard pressed to find, I don't even know, maybe we have some craft ones, like, the craft beer breweries that are popping up all over. Maybe we have some craft yarn boutiques, but from my knowledge, by the way, I made this sweater too, knitted this sweater. This is cashmere, and it is so warm. But this yarn is all imported. Every single bit of yarn that I've bought is imported because, you know, all of our factories closed, unfortunately. Uh, yes, that's true. I know, Lauren. I know. I know. It is like paradise. And the thing I like the very best about gardening are the surprises. Because you go out and you think, okay, I see all that. I see all that. I see all that. And you go around a corner and then you see that the artichoke, which you had wanted to make an artichoke stock for months, finally does. And it's just so surprising. Or you've got a watermelon vine and it's got a bunch of leaves and you lift one up and you see a little fuzzy little watermelon that's starting. It's just, I find that's the most best part. Oh, let's see. Oh, Bigfoot. Oh, ate all the leaves to your peach plant. Now, my understanding is even if you had gotten that peach tree, that it would not, I understand this from the man I did the grafting video with, that just because that peach was wonderful and you saved that pit and you planted that and it turned into a tree, the peaches that it produces might not be tasty like the one that you ate that inspired you to grow the tree, because all the fruit trees in the nurseries have been grafted onto rootstock. Let's see. How big is your yard? No, oh no. Oh wow. How high? I mean, Portia, deer fence has to be at least 7 feet high, maybe higher. No, oh no, you definitely need to put one around the garden. Absolutely. For example, no, oh no, please go back and watch Living Sustainably in Tennessee. Just when you're in my channel, if you type that in, and you'll see the friends of mine have this huge property and they just decided they were going to grow vegetables on this plot that's maybe 15 by 20 or 20 by, could be 20 by 30. I'm not exactly sure. And they put probably an 8-foot fence around it, because, they're in the woods of Tennessee. The deer are going to jump in there. Let's see. See, what states have you visited? I visited a ton, no, oh no, and I encourage you, because I think you're new to my channel, I encourage you to go to my homepage and look at my playlists and just scroll down, because I've done the Southeast, I've done the Northeast of this country, and then I've done various videos in Northern California, Southern California, and of course, a lot of videos in Phoenix. And then I have Europe. I did probably at least 20 videos in Europe in 2017. And I also did a bunch of videos, my first vlogs that I did on my cell phone, I did in Vancouver, British Columbia. 8 feet. I think 8 feet would be safe. Yes, I have a Phoenix series, and I don't have plans to go back right now, even though I've met some new Phoenix people that I would love to meet if I do. And it's not going to happen this year because there's too much happening here that I have to supervise. But once I get settled somewhere else, I'll definitely be visiting Phoenix again. Yes, it is, Patrick, but then you're in Bakersfield, which is not close to anything. And it's very hot. In fact, when I did my 100th episode, the Desert Bloom episode, when I was coming down off the high plain there, back down to the Central Valley, I was stopped at the top and I could see Bakersfield in the distance. It was just this big. That's as close as I got. Okay, guys, I'm freezing. It's 9:32. I have got to pick up my son at 10 o'clock in Santa Monica. We've got a breakfast reservation. And then I have to go to the Valley, see an apartment, and then I've got to go do my show and my comedy show, and then I've got to take him to the airport. So I've got a very busy day. It was great spending time with you. Thanks for putting your thoughts out there and joining me. And make sure you hit that like button before you go. You can check out all the ways to subscribe. First of all, subscribe to my channel if you haven't. And you can find out all the ways to support this channel at the top of the chat. I put all of my links there. So thank you so much, moderators, for keeping it clean. I appreciate that. And bye, Tina. Leona. Oh my gosh, Leona is writing from the South Pacific. Just tell me where. Just tell me where in the South Pacific. My father fought in the South Pacific in the World War II. Thank you, Daryl. And hopefully it'll be 40 before you know it. Keep sharing, everybody. Samoa, fantastic. Yes, my father was there in World War II. And my brother gave him the trip of a lifetime and took him back, and they retraced all of his steps. He was in the Navy. Yes, on the worm bin. Thank you. I'll do that. Bye, Peace. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks so much, Beth. And who else? Cheryl, Portia, Brittany. You need to, Brittany, rain barrels. These rain barrels I picked up on literally Craigslist. She was selling them for $15 a piece because she didn't want them. She didn't have the space. And my other ones I bought from Ivy, but that's a local. I think that's a local company here in California. So what you have to do is, you can get rain barrels at Home Depot or Lowe's or any of those places, but just go and see. First of all, that the main thing you want to know about rain barrels is how are you going to tap your water? Are you going to just bring it right down and curve it and let it flow into the mesh thing on the top and go in, or do you want to have it secure and going into the tank so you don't have to worry about overflow? Because what happens on the top is if a bunch of leaves get in there and that gets clogged, then all the water will flow over and it gets all over the ground. But if you if you make the water go from your downspout into the rain barrel, then it's nice and neat, like I have on my back. So go to my if you go into my channel, my homepage on my channel says search my videos. Just type in rain barrel and you'll find that rain barrel install. Was the really good install that we did. Okay, thanks everybody. Thank you, Portia. I love you. You're so wonderful. Okay, all right. Okay, illiterate. Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Love you. Okay, take care. Thanks so much, Jamal. I didn't hear much from you, but I always appreciate you tuning in. And take care. Oh, I forgot to say when we're doing our next one. I forgot to do that. I know a lot of people are already gone. Shoot. What is next Sunday, everybody? Next Sunday morning. Let's see, Sunday. Yeah, we'll do one next Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. Okay. All right. See you then.